Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, April 26, 2024, pre-market report. Sit back and relax. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I am going to cover two questions that I have gotten a lot of requests for with regard to should you get out of this market like right now today, and is it possible that the Fed may actually raise rates, and what would that mean? Okay, we're going to talk about that, so just sit back and just wait. But I want to start off with economic news. I want to talk about the pre-market setup right now and what we should be looking at. So with regard to economic news, today's economic news is the trade deficit widens again. Really? Oh no, nobody saw this one coming. It's not going to stop. Okay, debts and deficits are going to continue to balloon out of control as this thing deteriorates right before our eyes. Now, yesterday, the economic news is having a ripple effect, and it's pretty profound. What am I talking about? This tremendous miss on GDP. No surprise, I don't think, to anyone that follows this blog. And the number is actually fake anyway. Strip out spending on war alone. I told you this already, and we are in the negative. Now we have inflation continuing to rise, outpacing every single projection that has been made by the Federal Reserve and everybody else except you and me. You and I have been sitting back here saying it's going to keep on going, it has nowhere to go but much higher. Because central bank's power, people, resides in only one thing. You know what that thing is, and that's their ability to inflate, and they will never ever surrender that power if they have to kill millions. So just be ready for that. This morning, the setup for the market is nothing major. Stock futures slightly higher. The 10-year yield is slightly lower. Okay, we'll see where that goes. That means that someone out here is buying debt. Who could it be? I'll give you one guess. With regard to the U.S. dollar on a relative strength basis, it is higher this morning. Crude oil, you're watching crude over the last couple of days. Bam, 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 higher on increasing Middle East unrest, more airstrikes. Imagine my shock here. Imagine yours. War's not going to stop. War is the mechanism they are utilizing right now to inflate. I mean, you know what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say it again. I don't care. No other endeavor on this earth generates a greater need for more borrowed dollars than war. No nation on this earth has a war chest. It has to be borrowed right from the central bank, who are more than happy to lend. And in this case, it's the Federal Reserve. Again, where did this $95 billion weapons aid package come from? Well, we don't have it. It's got to be borrowed into existence. Imagine our shock. This is not the end either. Massively inflationary, currency negative. You all know that. But again, we're going to be lied to and propagandized. Oh, it's more of the same this morning. The Trump trial and Taylor Swift, who's the most productive person on earth. Apparently, that's what we're being told, and I don't really give a damn. I don't think you do either. But remember to focus on the Donald Trump trial, and remember to focus on Taylor Swift. Well, this entire thing is Swift, okay? Whatever it is. Okay. Anyway, let us move forward here, people. Gold and silver catching a bid this morning. Did I say that? Bitcoin, cryptos, relatively flat. So that's what's happening here. Now, there's something else that I don't think is going to surprise anyone here. So apparently bird flu is being found in cows. And what does this mean? Well, what have you and I been talking about? Resource issues, scarcity, and of course higher prices. And they're going to blame rising dairy prices, they're setting this up, on bird flu in cows. Maybe cows are going to grow wings and fly away. I have no idea, but maybe you can tell me about that. Okay, a couple of other things we need to talk about before we answer those two questions. Here's from today. This is Bloomberg. Okay, U.S. economy slows, so we're not booming, although we've been told it is. And inflation jumps, dampening soft landing hopes. So soft landing, so what they're trying to convince you is we're not going to crash, although the economy is crashing. Okay, it's not the market yet. The economy around the world is cratering at its fastest pace on record. We've never seen anything like it. Meanwhile, global debt continues to surge. So GDP advanced at an annualized 1.6, slower than all projections. Yeah, just like we just said here. Isn't that astonishing? First quarter core inflation measure accelerates to 3.7. Oh, and no one saw that one coming either, except for you and I. Imagine our shock. Imagine how incredibly blown out of the water we are. This is the MMRI from this morning. People, this is free. Utilize this tool. The link is in the description of this video. Our number, according to every calculation I can come up with, is 311.7. We are at 307.6. Yesterday we hit 311. The market was down. The Dow was down over 700 points. Then a miracle happened. Someone started buying the debt. Someone started buying stocks. We cut those losses in half by the end of the day. Keep your eyes on the MMRI. Watch for that 311.7 number. Seems to be the line in the sand here. We'll keep on top of that, no doubt about it. Now, I want to bring something else to your attention again before we go to this these two questions here. So Trump advisors are considering plans to dramatically revamp the Fed, according to the Wall Street Journal. Let me read this to you. The plans, which the Wall Street Journal has described as highly secretive, are part of a 10-page document that suggests Trump, if elected, I mean selected, would be consulted on interest rate decisions. Now, we already know where President Trump stands on this. President Trump likes suppressed rates, which means more easy money. This inflates the stock market. This devalues the dollar. As a matter of fact, what did the man call for? A weaker dollar and even negative rates. He wanted negative rates. This would have, of course, forced you to pay the banks if you kept your cash in there. Every single prospective presidential selectee, because they are selected, goes to Wall Street to get their approval. Now, Trump is no exception here. I'm not putting the man down. Do your research on this. President Trump has already gone to Wall Street. All the big fat cats there have been made a lot of promises, meaning expect more easy money, which is not good for you or me. Great for the corporations, especially multinationals who are looking for not only easy money, but a weaker dollar. So this secret plan, again, it's above our pay grade as the American people. It's highly secretive. We're not allowed to know about it. But we already know. We know where the man stands. And he'll make sure rates remain suppressed. The market will go higher, of course, on the back of that, making everyone's 401k look really nice. You'll be very rich on paper. But that's it. And you can expect more easy money for Wall Street, and the fat cats are going to get even fatter. Unfortunately, these people don't represent you and me. They represent the corporate agenda. They represent the corporate insiders, the military-industrial complex, and that involves all of the multinational corporations. So no surprise on what you can expect. And if it wasn't such a big deal, why is it secret? Why can't we know about it? Why isn't President Trump talking about this to all of us? Because I think we should be let in on that big secret, don't you? Okay, now let's cover these questions here. Number one, this was the number one question, bar none. Okay, Greg, should I sell my stocks now? People, I've covered this over the past several weeks, what I believe you should do. Number one, we need to watch risk. That means we need to keep our eyes on this. What I am waiting for is an uncontrolled sell-off in the debt market. It's still controlled. The debt market is selling off, but it is not uncontrolled. Uncontrolled meaning we're seeing the 10-year yield make 10, 20, 30, 40 basis point jumps higher in a day. We are going to see this. It's going to happen. Now, I also said repeatedly, I would not blame a single person out here for getting out of this market. You have to understand, it's never wrong. People tell me how I can explain this another way to all of you. It is never wrong to pull profit. If you've been with me and you've been following our plan here, we've been long this market since Donald Trump initially was selected. Okay, we've made a lot of money. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay. If that's the case, and you're sitting on a lot of money here, you're being invested in what we've talked about, including JEPI and JEPQ, racking in those dividend payments, good cash flow, why be greedy, okay? I can't tell you what to do. I can outline things for you and put a little light on the subject here. But again, it is never wrong, ever wrong to pull profits. I don't know how to say this another way. And that's another thing too. Okay, let's say you decide to, you know what, I've had enough. Risk is too high. I don't like the MMRI sitting at 307.6. I'm not waiting for it to go higher to 311.7 or anything else. I want out. And you take up, let's say, a cash position. A cash position is a position, although I hate cash. You know that. It's a dying asset. But if you needed to sit in cash for a little while to reevaluate, there's nothing wrong with that. I've done this myself. I've dropped out of this entire market several times in my life. I've come out here and told you all when I've done it, as a matter of fact. Sometimes you got to sit back, reevaluate the situation. You can always reallocate those funds. You understand? Anyone that tells you different is a novice. This is how professionals work. You are allowed to step back, reevaluate the situation, and then get back in if you think it's the right time to do so. If you decide to pull cash out of this market, period, and not go back in, you need to reallocate those funds. You can't be sitting in cash. What has Greg Mannarino told you since the beginning of time? My favorite assets on this planet are right here. My favorite of all time. My second favorite of all time. Platinum, palladium as well. I love these things. I think you need to be diversified. I think people should have at least some cryptocurrencies in their portfolio. You know all this. You need exposure to commodities. These, they call them commodities, but these are real money. So you got to evaluate. Everyone is different. Everyone has a higher or lower risk tolerance. And I would imagine those of you that are writing to me, and there's nothing wrong with what I'm about to say. Some people have a low risk tolerance. Some people have a high risk tolerance. Me, I'm off the Richter scale with regard to risk tolerance. I personally am going to wait for an uncontrolled sell-off in the debt market to close my positions. I don't see that just yet. But that doesn't mean you should wait for that either. You understand? I hope so, people. Now, the second question that I got here, and it's pretty profound as well, is, Greg, is it possible that the Fed could raise rates in the face of what we're seeing? Of course it's possible. But do I believe it's going to happen? No. I don't believe that. But that doesn't mean I'm right either, okay? We are seeing a phenomenon occur that you and I have called since day one. Inflation would continue to rise. The freaks on the mainstream media propaganda channels yesterday, they didn't know what to do with themselves. They were looking at each other with this dumbfounded, wait a minute, what's happening here? They don't know what's going on. They're just script readers. They're reading a script. They're not analysts. They don't look at, I am an analyst. You all know that. That's what I do. I analyze, and I am a macro analyst. I look at the larger picture, and then I kind of zoom in on the smaller things, but I am a macro analyst. These script readers, they don't analyze a damn thing. They're told what to say like puppets. Bop, 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 read the script, read the script, read the script. That's all they do. And it's astonishing because the same script is handed out to every single mainstream media outlet. CNBC, here's yours. Bloomberg, here's yours. Fox Business, here's yours. Reuters, here's yours. It's the same. And they repeat it and they parrot it because the more they all say it in synchronicity, the more people are going to believe it. You understand? But you and I were above that. We understand what's going on. We're able to look at this situation here and make sense of it. So is it possible? Yes. The other question, is my money safe in the market? I already told you no several videos ago. You don't put cash to work in the stock market because it's safe. You put cash to work in the stock market because there is risk. Risk means reward. You understand? People, look, I don't know how to say these things another way. People yell at me, Greg, you repeat yourself all the time. Oh, because people keep asking me the same questions over and over again. Being repetitive, I think, about things is important. People need to... Why do you think, for example, TV commercials repeat things 3 times? If you look at it, it's unbelievable. 3 times, 3 times, 3 times. There's something with this 3. That's how it gets into people's heads. So, look, with regard to the market and everything connected to it right now, what's going on here with the economic news, no surprise to anyone, and everything else connected to it again, no surprise here. Now, with regard to these questions, I hope I have answered your questions. I really, really do. Should you sell now? People, I wouldn't blame me if you did. Period. Is it possible? Well, maybe. Sure, it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I really don't. Bird flu and cows. Did that surprise you? They're going to grow wings and fly away. Anyway, they're gonna hit you with higher prices, and they're gonna blame that. They're gonna blame the war. They're gonna blame everything, and you all know that. But you're prepared from every single perspective, you and me, people, and I love that. Nothing surprises us. Nothing shocks us. Be ready for anything. Always have the high ground, and we take care of each other. Period. The end. Now, speaking of that, this is going to be the last video I am doing until Monday. A friend of mine is getting married. I'm taking a couple of days off. I'm going to go to the wedding, and I'm going to have a good time. I plan to eat, drink, and be merry. Anyway, people, so with that, we're going to end this video like we do every Friday post-market. Again, no post-market video today, and unfortunately, no markets to look ahead this week. You're going to see me Monday morning, so bring it in. Let's do this together, right? Love each other. Care about each other. Be charitable. People, I love all of you from the heart, and we're making a positive difference in the world, and that's all that matters to me. We're a family here, okay? We may not always agree on everything, but that's okay too. It's good to have conversations about things, but I want all of you to continue to look out for each other. We're all we got. We have no representation, and we're not going to get it no matter who they stick behind the Resolute desk. You may think things are different, but that the system is over. These politicians, all of them, are bought and paid for. They work for the corporate agenda. They work for the Federal Reserve. Period. Expect more suppressed rates, expect more easy money, expect more distortions across the spectrum of asset classes with regard to price action like you can't even believe moving forward. Expect debts and deficits to continue to balloon out of control. Expect this entire thing to build up to a climax, and that climax is going to wipe out a large portion of the population on this planet. I'm just going to lay it out for you right now. So just be ready for it. All right. With that said, till I see you Monday, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Right. Love you a lot from the heart.